It's week 3 of me being on the paleo-ketogenic diet. It's going very well. Let me update you. Welcome back to my channel. I am Sylvia and I'm a carnivore diet coach. I have to say this again. I have still no carbohydrate cravings. Yeah, there were like 1 or 2 days where I was thinking about an apple for like 5 minutes, but that's about it. Then I got over it and I forgot about it. And at the end of week 1, I was done with any residue of carbohydrate cravings. Now I don't even think about it. And especially on the weekends, that would be the hardest period of time for me to stick to the carnivore diet. And I got through all 3 weekends with perfect PKD. I can't believe this. I think this has to be one of my bigger achievements when it comes to the carnivore diet. I was finally able to cut this cord between eating to soothe my emotions, eating to take care of stress, eating to take the edge off, especially those fatty, sugary comfort foods. This is gone. I'm done. And I think that's why carnivore diet and paleo-ketogenic diet are so good at helping you with the weight loss, because vast majority of clients I had that had issues with weight loss, it was always tied to childhood trauma or unfulfilled emotions. And unless you are able to address these, weight loss at best will be temporary. But carnivore diet allows you to eat to satiety, nourishing food that will give you all the nutrients you need. So cutting the food addiction becomes this much easier. If you are overweight and you're looking for solutions, give carnivore diet a try. And while we are talking about food addictions, let's talk about coffee, because at the moment I am still drinking it. It is very, very weak. I mix it with egg yolks, collagen, and butter to shield my stomach, but 1/3 of a teaspoon that I'm putting into my morning drink is just good enough to give me lots of energy, or at least that's how I feel. And I'm beginning to recognize that I can't have it both ways. I can't drink coffee and be in ketosis because I have way too much energy. I have those more frequent wake-ups in the middle of the night where I am fully energized and ready to go at 3 a.m. That's a little bit crazy. So as much as I love my morning drink and also easy way to add the extra fat, I think I'm gonna have to give it up. Either that or ketosis. And I want to do the PKD perfectly, so I'm gonna have to give up coffee, a little bit that I'm drinking, at least for a period of time. Let me tell you about my fat consumption, because I was slow getting into ketosis. Right now I'm 1.3 to 1.5. So I'm still not at 2, and I'm not really in a hurry. I decided to take it easy. So at first I was eating a lot more proteins than fat. Some days I just couldn't get around to add all the extra fat. But to be honest, I forgot how much work it is and focus you need to dedicate to making sure that you're eating fat to protein ratio to be 2:1. It is a lot of extra work and a lot of extra fat. One evening I made ground beef with tallow, and I add so much tallow to it, and I shared it with the rest of my family because I forgot that I was not cooking just for myself. And my husband was asking, why this meat is so greasy on PKD. Some people that are new to PKD are scared by how little of proteins you'll be eating. But let me tell you this, if you add all this fat and stick to the ratio 2:1 fat to protein, it is really hard to exceed 450 grams. I just feel so much more satiated. When I first started PKD, I was not stressing over the fat, so I was eating to satiety, and there was no problem for me to eat 20-ounce steak for dinner. But now if I eat 10 ounces, and with all that extra fat that I'm adding, I feel super satiated and almost never hungry. And in my personal opinion, I think that this is one of the reasons why PKD works so well for chronic disease. And that's because you don't overload your gut with all the meat. and the effort that your body has to put up to break down all the proteins, you just eat just enough to sustain yourself and eat all the fat to seal your gut. So I think that's why it works so well. Another interesting thing I've noticed is my body temperature increased so much. It basically took 3 weeks for me to start noticing that I feel warmer than everybody else. And I observed this when I was in a conference room with 20 other employees. They were all wearing shirts and suits, and I was the only one with a short sleeve, my jacket off, feeling comfortable, while they were complaining about AC being too high. And while we are talking about thermogenic effects of meat consumption, it could be also another reason that it is a lot easier for me to stay on the carnivore diet now that it is a fall season going into winter, because our ancestors, at least in the northern hemisphere, this would be the season where they would rely mostly on meat and fat, and they would have to last on it until middle of the spring. Last time when I started a carnivore diet, it was middle of the spring, and naturally there was fresh fruit available and in abundance, and I was really craving it, and I was feeling super hot sometimes in the summer. And last but not least, my heartbeat changed. Or maybe not that it's changed so much, I just became more aware of it. So when I started adding all this extra fat to make the ratio requirements, about 20 minutes after my meal, I would start becoming aware of my heartbeat. And it wasn't anything fatiguing or negative. I would just be aware of my heartbeat, as if though my heart was working a little harder. So about 2 days ago, I started drinking Elementi, the electrolytes with sodium, magnesium, and potassium. And that took care of my heartbeat. It went back to how it was before I went into ketosis. All right, so this will do it for week 3 update of paleo-ketogenic diet. I know some of you ask me, many of you actually ask me to film videos to show exactly what I eat. So I'll do that. I'll show you how much in proteins and fat I'm eating per day. It's just hard to cram it all into one video. I think I'll just dedicate separate videos to what I'm eating and how I prepare my food. Until then, share this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.